Hello. So today we are going to create one basic LWC component which can be added on this account record page. I am planning to add it over here and it should display a few fields from the account. So for that we are going to use a lightning record view form. So we are not going to write the code from the scratch because we can leverage the component library for that. Here all the code is already available. We just need to make changes according to our requirement. So here you can see for the record view form we can already have this code available. We can simply copy it and update it as per our requirement. So here you see object API name. Here we need to provide our object API name as we are trying to display details from account. So our object API name should be account over here, and you can see here it also requires a record ID. So here record ID is hard coded, but instead of hard coding we are going to use the @API decorator. So what is decorator? We are going to cover this shortly in the further part of the video. So for now, let's skip that. Now let's jump back to our VS Code and create a Lightning Web component. So let's go to VS Code. We can come here under LWC folder. We are going to create our LWC component. So this is the name which we are going to use, record ID example LWC, for this web component. So right click on it and click create LWC component. So here we are gonna use this name. We are gonna use default directory. Okay, so here you can see three files gets created. First is HTML file, second is JavaScript file, and third is this meta.xml file. So now let's go back to here. Uh, where do we want to add our LWC component? This question is important because based on this, our component will render on the screen. So we are saying that we want to create a component which can be added on this account record page. So in order to do that, we need to add the target in this meta.xml file. So let's go here. Let's open the meta.xml file, and here we need to add the target as a lightning record page because we want to add this LWC component in lightning record page. Okay, so we need to add the targets. Under target we are going to add this lightning record page. Okay, so we are all set over here. Then one more important thing which we need to update in this meta.xml file. Here you see this is exposed tag. It says that if is exposed is false, then the component is not exposed to lightning app builder or experience builder. So we want to expose our component on lightning app builder and experience builder, so that's why we need to update it as true. Okay, so I have updated this. Now we can save this file. So now this XML file is ready. Now what we will do is we will simply copy the lightning record view form code from the component library into this HTML file. So let's go back to component library. So this is the piece of code that we are going to copy. Let's skip the template tag because template tag is already here. I have copied rest of the code. Okay, now let's try to save this. and we are done. Okay, so let's update this code now. First of all, we'll update the object API name. So our object is account, so make sure that you put the API name correctly. Okay, so in our case it is account. Now next thing is we need to add the columns. Okay, so whichever column we want to fields, I mean whichever fields we want to display, we will be adding those fields over here. Here you see we can use this lightning output field tag to display our field. So we will use the name field. Let's add another field. We'll use this website field. Now over here we'll again add two more field. Let's say we want to display the annual revenue and industry. Okay, so that's it. What we are doing over here is we are displaying these four fields from the account in this lightning component. So we are using the two columns. So these div classes are used just to create the two columns. Under each column we are displaying two fields. That's it. Okay, so we are good. Just save it now. Okay, now let's talk about this record ID. So we don't want to hard code the record ID. Instead, we want our component to be dynamically render the information based on whichever record we are accessing. In order to do that, we are going to use the record ID property and @API decorator. So what is record ID property? So record ID property is used to get the current record ID of the account record. Okay, and then we would need this @API decorator. So why? Then the answer is because it is used to expose a variable or function publicly and make properties reactive. So what do we mean by reactive? Reactive means that whenever the value of the property gets changed, then the component will be re-rendered. So we want to pass this record ID dynamically to our LWC component, and then our component should render based on this value. So that's why we would be needing this @API decorator. Okay, so there are three types of decorator in LWC. There are API, track, and wire. So API is used to expose a variable or functions publicly and make properties reactive. Second one is track. It is used to make variable private but reactive. Third one is wire. It is used to read Salesforce data. Okay. So let's see how we can use this @API decorator with a record ID. Now let's go to the LWC component. So we need to go to JavaScript file. Here, in order to use the API decorator, first we need to import it. So here we will add the API decorator. Then here now you can use the API @API decorator. We are going to use this record ID property. Okay, so this record ID property is decorated using the @API decorator. Now we will get the record ID dynamically, and in order to make this property available publicly, we are using this @API decorator. So now this will be available in our HTML file. So here we are going to use that record ID variable. Okay. Okay, so just replace this with the record id property that we have created, and we are done. Let's save this file. Let's save this as well. So now we are ready. We can add our component onto the account record page and see how it works. So before doing that, here you can see I haven't set the default org. So let's go ahead and set that. I will authorize an org. So it will be MC square. It is asking me to add username and password. So I have added the username and password. I will authorize it. Hopefully it will be succeeded. So authentication is successful now. We can close this tab and go back to our VS Code. So here you can see the default org now. So now we are ready to push our code into this connected developer org. We will right click on it and deploy it. It's in progress. Okay, so deploy source to org successfully ran. Now we can go to our org. Let's log in again. So now we need to add our lightning web component on this record page. So we will just edit this page. And under custom, here now we can see our LWC component record ID example. So we will simply drag this. It's taking some time to load. Let's wait for 2 minutes. Okay, some weird error pop up, but let's ignore that for now and let's save this. You can see here the component that which we have added. Click on save, activate. For now we will assign it as org default. Save, save again. We are done. Let's go back and see if it is visible on the screen. So now here you can see our component. We displayed the account name, revenue, website, and industry. So that's how simple it is. This component is able to display the information of the fields which we have added under this section. And now let's check on some other record to see whether it is working dynamically or not. So let's open this in another tab. Okay, all accounts, let's choose this account, and here also you can see, so the based on account which we have selected, the respective information is getting displayed over here. So this website is getting populated over here, the account name is getting from here, similarly the rest of the information. Okay, so industry and the revenue. So that's all I wanted to cover under this video. This is really a basic example which might be useful for you to start your learning path on the LWC. So I'll try to create a more content in the upcoming videos. So stay tuned. And if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. And if you have any questions regarding the component that we have created, please also add those questions into the comment box. Also, I'll be adding the code and links which might be useful into the description box. So do check out. If you have any suggestions, please feel free to let me know. See you in the next video. Thank you.